If you're looking for ways to make money in a bad economy, watch this. Hey everyone, it's Alexander with Apartment Locating Mastery. In this video, I'm going to explain why apartment locating works in recessions. So the first thing with apartment locating, it's fundamentally different than real estate sales, where you're buying and selling houses for clients. With real estate sales, it's extremely sensitive to market shifts. So if the market's doing great, that's wonderful because you have a lot of clients with a lot of money and there's a lot of houses to buy on the market. That's basically a feeding frenzy and there's a ton of money to make. But if the market isn't so good like it is now, and there's a lot of layoffs happening, interest rates are high, then people don't have the salaries or savings to afford houses. Even in amazing or super hot markets can be a disaster for real estate sales when there's so many people looking for houses but not enough houses on the market to buy. Not that long ago, there was a time where there was more real estate agents on the market than houses to buy on the market. So apartment locating is fundamentally different than real estate sales, primarily for the reason that you're dealing with rentals instead of sales. With rentals, you're not dealing with interest rates because people don't need interest rates, don't need loans to rent apartments. So if interest rates rise like what we're seeing right now, apartment locating really isn't affected. For my clients, it doesn't matter to me if interest rates go up because they don't need loans to rent apartments. The next reason is housing is a basic human essential. People need places to live. If they can't afford houses to buy, then they need to rent something to live in. People would rather cut almost everything else from their budget than eliminate their rent. So you're always going to have people to work with because you're dealing with a fundamental human necessity. So if people can't afford to buy houses, they will rent apartments. If people lose their jobs, they'll sell their houses and rent apartments. If people lose their jobs and they live in some fancy downtown high-rise apartment that they can't afford anymore, they will rent a cheaper apartment or get another apartment with a roommate. In each case, is an opportunity for you to make money in apartment locating. Now let's look at the apartment complexes. So apartment complexes are the ones that we work with, owned by large investment companies looking to maximize the return on their investment. The absolute biggest expense an apartment building has is vacancy when units go empty. The reason this business works is apartment buildings would rather pay commission to apartment locators like us than let their units sit empty. In my experience, commissions actually go up when the economy goes down. When a building is more concerned about their units going empty, they're going to raise commissions. That's why, in my experience, I saw commissions go up in the early stages of the pandemic when the entire world was freaking out, and later in 2022 when mass layoffs started to affect the local tech industry here in Austin. A single apartment complex can have between 200 and 400 units. And if you multiply that by the number of apartment complexes in or near your city, then you're going to have thousands of opportunities to make money by pairing people with apartments. Apartment locating also does really well in hot markets for the same reason that real estate overall does well in hot markets. When you have a lot of companies hiring a lot of people, that means you're going to have a lot of people who suddenly are making a lot more money, moving to new places and renting apartments. Every single case where people get new apartments is a chance for you to make money. Now, this doesn't always mean that apartment locating as a business always works in all markets. There are cases and cities where the supply isn't high enough to keep up for the demand. In places like New York City and San Francisco, apartments just don't need people to help them find apartments. So apartment locating doesn't really work well in those cities like it does in other cities. And it doesn't work if there aren't enough people to work with. But In my case, there's always been a lot of people to work with. The restricting thing is going to be if there's enough units in enough buildings to put them in. Because if there aren't enough apartment units available, then there won't be enough places to match your clients with. These have been my observations witnessing the apartment locating industry over the last 5 years. It's a big reason I'm not really freaking out about the real estate market like a lot of my other friends in real estate are. So if you found this video useful, I have a full free basic course on how apartment locating works so you can better decide if it's right for you. That's going to be linked in the description below. Hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you another time.